Okay. Yoda. I wanted to look at the next couple rounds and sort out what it wanted. And what I did, what I decided on looks kind of like this. And I think that that is reasonable. So one of the reasons why I wanted to look into it was because I did not know why they wanted you to put this one stitch marker in, and I still don't know why they wanted that. But let me take this out. The first thing to determine was what they meant by find the stitch that is in the front middle. And I assumed that basically, I need to finish this back in the brown because that's where I had that. That this was, when I put the stitch in, I'll be back where I left off. Okay. That was the stitch opposite the end of the round. So this stitch was marking the end of the round. And that's what I eventually decided, was that they wanted the stitch opposite that. So I put a stitch marker in there so I could see it well. Found the stitch on the front middle that was opposite there to call this the middle. And then it said to count back 5 stitches before that, not including the middle stitch, and mark this stitch. So since you work around this way, I said before is this way. And again, I don't even know if this, because I did the next round and I have no idea what the stitch marker is for. Like, I have no clue. But if we say this is about middle, which it's really just kind of your judgment, kind of. And then not counting this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So last time I counted this, it ended up being 1 over, because if you shift it a little, it's just kind of wherever you think the center is. But that was about that plan. Middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll move this over 1 just because. And it wants, I'm putting it only in this top loop here instead of under both loops, because when you get to the next part, it wants back loop only stitches, and then I can just work into this back loop here without bothering the marker. Still have no idea what the marker's for. So anyway, that's where we got. So okay. Now to do my color change and get back to where I was just now, I'm going to back out of this last stitch that I did so I can switch to green. So I'm just going to take my hook out, pull this single crochet out, just the one, put my hook back in, and then, no, go through the whole loop. You can do it. I believe in you. And then I'm going to start this single crochet. So I'm going to insert, pull up a loop, lay this down, pick up the green, and finish a single crochet with the green so that we're switching to the green. That was another thing, was I wasn't positive if we're marking this stitch, were we supposed to fasten off and start the green in that stitch? And I don't think so. I think we're good to do it like this. So hopefully this will work out. So we've switched to the green yarn. Now back loop only. So when you have the 2 V's of your stitches here, the one closest to you looks like, if you look at it just from here, it looks like a rope. So these are your front loops, the ones facing you. And then this one in the back are your back loops. So we are going to be doing this round and back loop only. So we're going to single crochet 8. So I'll take out the stitch marker. I don't think we're going to need the brown again. So we'll fasten that off at some point. I'm going to take out the stitch marker and I'll do this first single crochet. So it's a little bit fuzzy because I've done this once, but we got the front loop here, right here, the back loop right above my nail there. We're going to go under just that loop. No, not the green. I don't want the green, just that loop. And do the single crochet. Stitch marker back in, so that's 1. And then in the next, the back loop here, 2. And then 3. And what, for the difference, I would normally be going in down here and kind of going up through that way. Instead, I'm going into the center a little bit, so down into the center and then scooping back. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay. And I'm going to trim this and tie it off. The needle's in here somewhere. I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's loose in the box somewhere. All right, well, until we find that one. Don't mind me, just making a mess. Okay. Not sure where I put that needle. Okay, so I'm going to just tie this off to something. This green right here will be fine. I'm going to pull that under. I'm going to hold this loop so I can't pull that end all the way flat. Pass the tail through the loop, tie it down. And then I'm just going to feed this through some of these side loops going down in, just so that I can tuck it in up there and it'll not bother us. And then okay. Alrighty, so that's 8 single crochet back loop only, and then popcorn next 3. So popcorn it's not bad. It's 3 double crochet. It shows you in the stitch instruction. So what we're gonna do is into this next stitch, let me move the brown, into the back loop only, I'm going to do a double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over before I go in. Okay, so instead of inserting for your normal single crochet, I'm going to press back against that, rotate this hook to grab that yarn, and now we're going to insert back loop only. Make sure this doesn't slide off your hook. So I'm going to insert, yarn over again, pull up a loop. There's now 3 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through just these first 2. So yarn over, pull through the first 2 only. Then yarn over again, pull through the last 2, and that's a double crochet. All right, so we're going to do that again into the same spot. We're going to be doing 3 total into this stitch. So yarn over, insert into the same spot, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2. This is 2. Now if you want, this right here, you can mark this if you want, because we're going to come back to that in a minute. And we can also count backwards, but if that will help you, you can mark that stitch. We're going to do it again. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2, yarn over and pull through the second 2. Now, you want to be careful here. We have to take our hook out. You don't want to lose this loop. Normally what I do when I do that is I just make this bigger. It's less of a chance of it pulling through. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to take this out. And now this first double crochet we made right here. So if you need to, you can count back. So we have our loop. You don't count this loop, but we have 1, 2, 3 double crochet. So from here, from the front, we're going to go under both loops of that first double crochet. Okay. And then we're going to put this loop back on the hook. I'm going to tighten it back down to normal kind of tension. And then you're going to pull this loop through here. So I'm going to catch that with the hook and rotate under to hold it and pull it through. And that's 1 popcorn. Okay. So we're going to do it again in the next one, back loop only. So here's our next stitch. We're going to go into this back loop only, yarn over, insert that back loop only, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2, another double crochet, just the first 2 the first time, second 2 the second time, 1 more double crochet. Remember to yarn over first. Once that double crochet is done, pull that up some, slip your hook out, and count back 1, 2, 3, insert under both loops of that stitch, slip this back on, tighten that down, and really catch that loop with that tip as you rotate, pull it through. That's 2, and now 1 more time here. So yarn over, insert, 1 double crochet, yarn over, insert, second double crochet, yarn over, insert, third double crochet, then 1, 2, 3, right here, going under there, putting that loop back on. I should have pulled that up a little more. Okay, so there we go with those. Now, next we are doing 5 single crochet, continuing in back loop only. So here's our next stitch in the round. We're going to go just through this back loop here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now we are going to, again, do the popcorn in the next 3. So double crochet into the back loop of that next stitch 3 times. So that was 1. This is 2. This is 3. Find your first double crochet that you made, slip under there. Oh, no, see, I'm losing my loop here. Okay. And then again in the next one, three double crochet into the same stitch, back loop only. Okay. Why have you done this? Okay. And then last one, next stitch in the round, back loop only. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then should be 8 single crochet to finish out the round. So just starting in the next stitch, 8 single crochet to bring us back to the beginning of the round. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we have this edge that we don't normally have from doing back loop only. We got like 3 toes bumped out on each one, how it's raised like that. And that round is done. And I don't know what we need this stitch marker for. I'm going to leave it for now in case something later wants it. I don't see how it was necessary right now, but we're going to leave it. So we are now going to stuff the head and the body. So let me grab the fluff. Okay, so I've got some of the stuffing here. I'm going to pull some out and kind of let it fluff up and decompress a bit. Grab a portion and stuff into the head. That feels pretty good for the head. Stuff the body. This might be a little too much for the body. Let's see. How's that? Maybe a little bit much. We might end up taking a little bit out of the body. We'll see. Okay, so use black yarn to sew a small mouth. So grab the black. I suppose I really should try to find the needle that came with this. Did I lose it? Did it not have one? Did I use it in the first one and not put it back where it belongs? the chances of that are pretty good, honestly. I probably put it elsewhere. Oh, it's probably just laying up here. It's just laying up here. Okay, I found it. Alrighty. Here we go. Now, he's just got this tiny little smile. It doesn't give us any specifics on the how, so that's up to us. We do want, okay, let me make sure this loop is nice and big. All right, so here's our front. Maybe that head needs a tiny bit more. Here's our front. We got these on this round 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches between the feet basically. So I'm going to go between them and up. So I think we're looking at around here. It looks like it's about 3 stitches wide and sort of the length of 1.5 or 1.5 rows down total. So I'm thinking right about here is going to be the goal. So I'm going to go in here, come out right here, and I could either do 2 stitches for this, kind of like a little V, then I would then try to smooth out where I go down and then come down the other way, or I could go over and then secure the smile loop from the bottom, and I think I'm going to try that. So I'm going to come out, and what I'm going to do is, instead of shaping the smile right now, I'm just going to go over as far as I want it to go. So 1, 2, 3, I think we'll try going in same row level, but about 3 stitches over here. Now I'm going to angle this needle down and around the center of that area, so probably here and a row down, I'm going to bring that tip out. And I'm going to make sure that this loop is under the tip of my needle right now. Okay, so this is underneath here, and I'm going to pull this through like that. Tighten this side up a little bit. Now, oh, this is a little bit, I need this basically 1 stitch over. Okay, so I'm going to move this 1 stitch over. So instead of going in here, coming out here, I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to go in here and come out here. Okay, and then the same thing, about 3 over in here, and then probably right there, although it's gonna want to be right in between those 2 things, but we're gonna try right here for now. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this is underneath there. Pull that like that. Have to put this back on because reasons. All right, now I'm going to re-enter in exactly the spot I came out, right here, and then I'm going to leave through this original spot where I entered first. So back into the same spot that I came out down here, and bring this over here to come out this spot. Okay, and I'm not pulling very tight. I want it to be still where I can adjust things a little. Okay, so here's what we got. It looks like we're okay as far as being decently centered. I'm going to use this to shape this a little, pull these down, and then I'm going to pull this tail, the one that I just brought out, and I want it to be so that I basically can't really tell that it's there. You know, I want it to be subtle so that it just is helping to shape the smile, but not being a really obvious line. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to carefully tie these together. I don't want to, if I really pull on them and over tighten them, it'll pull this from both sides and tighten everything up. So I want to be careful to make sure that I'm paying attention, that I'm not going to over tighten. So I'm going to, where can I put him? Right here. Tie these two ends together. So I do want to tighten up, but not too much. So I'm going to do 2 knots and then trim this pretty short. And then I'm going to take my needle. First, I'm going to just kind of nudge that knot in with the bigger end. And then once that's in there, I'm going to insert into the same area. Push this pretty far in. It can even come out the other side a little bit. I'm getting it all the way down there so I can thread these short ends through the opening. I'm going to thread both through at the same time. And I don't want them to be too tight right there. So I want it to have space to pull, if that makes sense. And then pull those both in. Okay. Now I can either trim these or shove them in. And there we go. We have a smile. So that actually went pretty well for me putting face features on. Usually it is more of a deal than that. I'm gonna put that aside for now. And back to the green. Back to what we were doing. I do think I'm gonna end up taking some of this out. And it seems a little bit, like just a half a teaspoon worth is all I really want. Let's see how that looks. Okay, I think that's better. Alrighty. So back in. Single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the next, and we're just alternating that around. So we're back to doing both loops. Let me take out my stitch marker. We're doing the decrease first. So we're going to, I think we've done that. Yeah, we've done that in the head. So insert under both loops of the next stitch in the round, pull up a loop, insert under both loops of the next stitch in the round, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. For a decrease, a single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next. So right here in our round 1, and we're just going to continue that around. So we just worked here. It's a little bit of a reach to get to the next one. Make sure you don't get tricked and go into the wrong one. Decrease, and then in the next, single crochet. Now we're going to be doing a decrease. So this is going to get a little bit harder to see, but our decrease here, okay, is this guy and this guy. So pull up a loop in the next one here for decrease, okay, and then single crochet. Our single crochet will be this first double crochet. So right here, me see if I can get this to turn. So we're going to do one right here after this first toe bump out. So 1, and then we're back to a decrease. So for that, we're going to do through right here, pull up a loop, okay, and then here, pull up a loop, okay, and then we just did right here, so now this one is going to be our single crochet right here. All right, and then the decrease, 1, 2. I'm holding the stuffing down with my finger to try to prevent the hook from pulling it because I don't like when that happens. So decrease right there, and then single crochet right here in the corner. And now the decrease first 2 toes, so pull up a loop from the loop of that first toe. Here's the loop of the second toe, pull up a loop, decrease, then single crochet in these 2 loops the last toe. That was a single, so this is starting right here. These 2 are decrease. Decrease. Okay, and then in the next single crochet, and then decrease in the next, single crochet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so for our next round, round 21, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the next, and repeat around. So I'm going to take out this stitch marker. We're working under both loops of the stitch again, no more back loop only. So I'm going to insert under both loops of this stitch here for the decrease, pull up a loop, insert under both loops of the next stitch in the round, pull up a loop for 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 for the decrease. Put that stitch marker back. That's 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the next. So we just worked into here. We're going to single crochet into the next right here, like so. And then we're going to repeat. So starting in the next stitch right here, we're going to decrease. It's a little bit of a reach, but we're going to do a decrease here, like that. Okay, and then single crochet in the next, right here. Okay, and now we're going to decrease. So our next decrease is going to be into this stitch and this stitch right here. Okay, I'm using my finger, by the way, to tamp down the stuffing as I go, so it won't get caught up in my hook and pull through. So here, these 2 right here, going to insert, pull up a loop, insert under the next, pull up a loop, finish off that decrease. Okay, and then right here, so we got these bumps for our toes, right? And in between each of those, we got this kind of big loop at the top. Right before that, we got this little loop. Okay, so we're going to do our single crochet right here in this little corner, single crochet, and then decrease this loop and this loop. Okay, so pull up a loop from that one. Under the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Okay, and now right here on top of this toe, we got these 2 loops. we're going to put our single crochet there. So insert, do a single crochet. Okay, now we just worked into here. These are the edges of that loop still. So our decrease is going to be here and here. So decrease these two. And then single crochet right here, which is the next. Okay. Now decrease, we're going to do this right here. And then again, this little corner guy. So not 1, 2, 3 of these bigs on top. Got this little corner guy and this one right here. So insert, pull up a loop, and then insert right here. Pull up a loop for the decrease. Single crochet this guy right here. Decrease this and this. Okay. Now we just worked around these, so our single crochet goes right here. Single crochet. Now decrease 1, 2. Single crochet right here. Okay. Now decrease 1, 2. And last right here, single crochet. Like that. And now after that round, we are meant to have 18. So I'll start here and count around 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Now the next round, we're doing the same instruction. Just, there's just less stitches this time. So single crochet 2 together, take out that stitch marker, do that first decrease. Put that back in. And then just around. So that was a decrease. And the next one here. Now you're going to be reaching and things. That didn't hook. So make sure you're finding the next stitch in the round and not the corner. But that was our decrease. And now single crochet. And then again right here. Decrease. And then the next right here. Single crochet. Oh, slid off my hook. Single crochet. And then 1, 2 decrease over the top of where the foot area is. Decrease, and then the next one right here. Single crochet. 1, 2 decrease. And then right here on top of the first area of the foot, single crochet. And then decrease 1, 2 here. 1, 2, decrease. Next in the round right here, single crochet. And then one more set, decrease. And last in the round, single crochet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And finish stuffing. Let's see. I think we might be good there. I don't think we want any more. I think we're all right. We don't want to put out too much into the bottom here and have it be rounded. Like we want it to be kind of flat so it'll sit. Now just decrease all the way around. So take out that first stitch marker, put in this first decrease. Okay. And decrease around. So there, just doing a decrease in each next 2 stitches all the way around. Last 2. Okay. Fasten off, leaving a length of yarn. We're going to sew up the hole, pull the yarn up through the body, make sure the base lies flat. Take the yarn through the body a couple of times to secure the yarn before cutting it. So I'm going to take out the stitch marker. I guess I'll leave this one still, even though I don't know why we ever put it there, but in the next stitch I'm just going to slip stitch. And then I'll do a tail. Not sure exactly how much we need, but I'm just going to do about this much. Pull that all the way through. Thread this on to the part that threads, not to the pokey bit. And then I'm just going to go around and just go through these loops here, just the top ones. I'm not worried about getting under both of them. We're just closing this up. And I'm just weaving it in and out of them to pull this closed. Like that. And then we're going to go in and come up, I think at the back of the neck here, to try to pull this flat some. Where is the tip of my needle? To like encourage this to lay flat. And then I'm gonna go, I'm just moving this down one because this is where I wanted to come out and it's not necessary at all, but I'm just being picky. And then I'm going to take this and essentially just go back down and come out the bottom. Move over one. Okay, and I'm going to tie this off, slip under something nearby. Tie it to secure it, and then I'm going to run this back up. Why won't you come out anywhere? Why are you doing this? Why? Run it back up in there and disappear it, basically. And then this portion will be done. Oh my goodness, this needle is so flexible that it can't go where I want it to. All right, let's try this. Will you work? Haha. Okay. Cut that and let it disappear back into there. So we got decently flat bottom, got some toes. Looks like he'll sit pretty okay, and pretty happy with that smile. So I am going to get a drink and charge this for a little bit, and then I'll be back. Alrighty, so I plan to do probably the arm and ear, and then that's where I'll end this one is my plan. So for the arm, you're going to make 2. I've made 1. I'll make the second one. So we're going to start with the green yarn. We're going to switch to the brown in not long. So I'm going to chain 2. So going to make a slip knot, bring this yarn around my thumb, hold the tail over here, and bring this tail up in between the fingers like so. Move the loop over and tighten. Put that on my hook and chain 2. So grab the yarn, pull through the loop on your hook twice, 1, 2, and now our 6 single crochet are going to go right in here, the second chain from the hook. We did this at the beginning of the head, so this is the same beginning there. So I'm going to insert into here. You can put a stitch marker into this first stitch after we make it if you like. So insert, pull up a loop, do that single crochet, that's 1. We're going to do 6 of these into the same opening. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all into the same spot. And then for the second round, we're doing just a single crochet in each stitch around, but we're switching to brown yarn in the last stitch. So I'm going to do my first single crochet here and put my stitch marker in. So this is the 6th stitch from our hook right here under both of these, just like when we were making the head. And stitch marker. Okay, and now we're going to continue single crocheting each stitch around. So we worked right here. This is the corner of where we just worked. So we're going to go into this one for 2, 3, 4, 5. Now before we do this last one and do that color change, going to pull this loop up a bit, and I'm going to take this tail and use it to close this opening a little bit and to just make that a little of a smoother look at the beginning. So I'm just going to pull this around underneath some of the loops here. This won't really show that much, or really kind of not at all. So this is just sort of me being persnickety. So it doesn't have to be super exact. Just tighten that up some, and then I'll just tie it off right here. Okay, and just gonna run it under another stitch so to hold it down, so to speak. Okay, now this is all cupped in, but I'll fix that in a moment. We're gonna push this to where it's right side out, like that. And then we're going to start our last single crochet in green, and we're going to switch to brown. So I'm going to insert into the last stitch of the round here. You don't have to do the thing that I just did with the tail. You can just leave it. Pull up a loop, and then grab the brown, hook that over your hook, pull that through, and then I'm going to get the first single crochet in, because the next thing to do is to do 2 single crochet in the next. I'm going to do just the first one and put the stitch marker in. So make sure these are all tightened down. I got the corner of where I just worked, so I'm going to go under the, what is the first stitch in the round, and just do quick single crochet, put the stitch marker in, and then I'm going to trim the green. So I'll take this hook out for a moment and tie this green and this brown end together. And then I'll just leave them inside. So I'm just going to tie these together. I'm not going to tighten the first knot down too much because I don't want it to over tighten the loops that I'm still working with. But I am going to get it snug. I'm just not going to really pull. So there we go. And then I'll be able to push these in better as we go, as it gets longer, obviously. But for now, we'll just try to shove them down into there, compress them down, and continue. So that was one of 2 single crochet in the next. So we need to put our second single crochet into this stitch, and then it's 2 single crochet in each of the next. So 1 single crochet in the next, 1 single crochet in the next, single crochet in each of the next 2. So here 1, and then next stitch over 1, and then repeat. So 2 in the next, 1, 2, and then 1 in each of the next 2. 1, 2. Now single crochet in each stitch around for rounds 4 through 7. So I'm going to do the first one here into this first stitch of the round, put my stitch marker back in, and this is round 4. So just like we've done before, 1 single crochet in each stitch around, okay, just like that. Move your stitch marker each time, and that was round 4, so 5, 6, 7. It's 4 rounds total, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so this is after round 7, and now we're just going to do a decrease, single crochet in the next 2, and then repeat that. So decrease in the first 2 stitches of the round, stitch marker back in, and then single crochet in each of the next 2. 1, wow, the yarn is really thin right now. 2, then again, it's probably really difficult to see this yarn because it's so dark, but you can't really make it any lighter. And then single crochet, 1, 2, and then slip stitch in the next. So right here, pull that through the yarn on your hook, tighten down, little tail for sewing the arm on, and that is done. We're not stuffing these, so there's the arm. Now ears, starting with green again, and this time we are going to, again, we're going to chain 2, work 6 single crochet in the first. I'm going to do this pretty quick since we just did that. So 2 chains, 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for the next round, we're going to do 2 single crochet in each of the next 3. So starting right here, I'm going to put the single crochet in and get the stitch marker. So, and I'll wait and see how this looks before I decide to close up the hole. The way it's, the way it's designed, it might not need it. So that's 1 single crochet into this first stitch. Now I'm going to put the second one. It's 2 in each of the next 3. So that's 1, 2 more here. There, and then 2 here in the next one. 1, 2, okay. And now a half double crochet and then a double crochet in the next stitch. So this one right here, you're going to yarn over, okay, insert like we did for the double crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and this time pull through all 3 loops, okay. This is a half double, and then into the same stitch, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2 for your double crochet. In the next stitch, we are going to do a double crochet and then a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, and then slip stitch in the next, okay, slip stitch, fasten off, leaving a length of yarn, weaving the yarn left from the start, use the length of yarn from the end to sew the pointed end of the ear together with a couple of stitches, okay. What does that mean? The pointed end. Do you see a pointed end? I see an ovally end. The whole thing's an oval. And work the yarn through to the other end of the ear. So what I'm thinking we do is, let's take the stitch marker out. Scissors. Needs somewhat of a tail. This is probably enough tail. Probably don't need that much. Alrighty, so I'm thinking we fold this in half, sew this together with a few stitches, and then attach from this side. Does that sound? Well, fold it in half this way so that this line of stitches is facing up and so that it cups this way. I think that's what we're doing. Okay, so to weave this tail in, I'm gonna bring it over here. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is putting it maybe inside of the head. I'm not sure, because pieces like this, it's hard to weave them in without them sticking out since both sides are showing. So I'm going to, with this side of my stitches, the tops of my stitches facing me, I'm gonna like kind of fold this in half. I'm gonna sew a couple stitches here to make the pointed end. Okay, so just gonna kind of go in right here, opposite of where I fastened off, like that, and then just kind of do that probably really only one more time right here along the bottom to kind of shape that side. I might want to close this up. I might take this tail back out and use that. Yeah, I am gonna close that up a little bit because it's pretty obvious the way that it's folding. I don't understand the rounded edge thing. I don't know what this is supposed to help with. So far, I don't think it's helping. Close enough. Or I think even just that little bit is enough. So let me tie this down so that it doesn't just come loose. And then I'll figure out how to weave that tail in. I'll probably, like I said, put it into the body. Alrighty, anyways, back to what we were doing. Put this back on. Do we think another stitch in here? Yeah, I think maybe a little further down we'll do one more. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to weave it through these loops in a line. I could tie this off, and I think I'm going to hold this here so that that doesn't loosen. The knot really shouldn't be visible, and we want this to keep that shape, so I'm just going under a nearby stitch just to do a quick knot to hold that in place. And now I'm going to weave this down through the other side so that it comes out over here so that we can sew it to the head as we like. And then I'll come out right here. Okay. So there we go. And I'll get the other one made. And what time is it? Yeah. I kind of want to start the robe, but I don't think I will finish it before I have to do other things. So I'm going to save that for next time. Get the other ear made, and then we'll put them on and get started on the robe next time. So hope this is helpful, and see you next time.